Hello, welcome to McBoss Capital. My name is Michael Chu. Today, we're going to talk about the growth stock list that I follow, and this is for the week ending November 7, 2025. Right here, you can see the IBD signal allocation is 60 to 80%. So it's still above, the middle, the average percent. But we are seeing more distribution. Right on Thursday, we had distribution day. Nasdaq S&P tumble in higher volume. We had 2 on Nasdaq and 7 distribution days on S&P, so it's quite high. So we did talk about the major index on the other video. So if you haven't watched that, please follow that. Here we're gonna focus on only the stocks. Here we see that for 9 days in a row, we are seeing a lot of distribution, way more than accumulation. Although the accumulation is, we still have some, but it's like almost 2-to-1 ratio, right? And then the industry groups is also quite high, right? On the sector side, we also didn't see much accumulation. This is net accumulation minus distribution, and so we have more negative than positive. And we see just slightly financial, little bit positive on Friday. So on the right here, this is the number of stocks in uptrend versus downtrend. There's about 434 stocks. This is from the list of since July, so the last earnings, right? And this one here is based on more recent earnings, so like October and November now. And so this one has about 244 stocks, because that's how many that has reported that I'm tracking. So we're almost getting to the end here of the earnings season, more than halfway, like probably 6% or more now. So we still have more growth stocks to report. But in terms of the trend from the July list, we're seeing about 20 to 30% in uptrend. So not very good, right? But for the newer list, we're seeing 30 to 40% or more, a little bit, 43% here. So slightly better. So again, so that seems to be roughly about 10% difference here. So that's quite interesting. Yeah, so that's something different. Column here show how many of those stocks are making a new high, based on the time frame we're looking at. So as of Friday, we have 19 from this newer list that are making new highs. So that's a very low percentage of all the stocks here. Even with the older list, we have 18 only out of 400 something stocks. So it just shows like, the market is definitely, a lot of stocks are definitely pulling back. So there's a few points I want to make here. So leading stocks been hit hard, even though some bounce on Friday. A number of stocks has flashed buy signals in the past 2 weeks, but they have round tripped their gains and fallen back below entries. This also sometimes tripped the sell signals as well. The market rally is currently at a critical juncture. Um, S&P Nasdaq are at the 50-day moving averages, but has lost significant ground for the week. And then some leading stocks did rally from the low on Friday. So a strong rebound could signal the end of a pullback, but the indexes decisively breaking their 50-day lines could herald a true market correction. So that's something we don't want to see. Perhaps the market will appear to bounce, but continue its up and down action, which is a terrible environment for active investors. So today we're only going to focus on the newer earnings list, mainly. And so this is the one since October 10th to now November 7th. So that's, yeah, pretty much roughly a month of data we have here. And this column is the symbol. This is how much it has gained. So Sand is doing really well. This is the column, that tells you where the uptrend or downtrend based on the short-term 10 to 21-day moving average. Here's the column that tells you whether they make a new high based on this time frame, and this tells you whether it's which group it's in, right? Which sector, which group. So at the top here, there's about, like I said, 40-ish stocks, and at the top here, we're seeing a lot of stocks in uptrend because they obviously rank in the top, and so a lot of them are above their 10-21 day. As we scroll down, you're going to see more in downtrend. But overall, you can see a lot of stocks, like as we saw in the other table earlier, roughly 40% are in uptrend. So that's 4 out of 10 stocks in uptrend. As we go down, you can see a lot more downtrend, right? And then down here is all mostly downtrend. At the bottom here, you can see Affirm, FNF, CNX, but they did rebound though. All right. So we're gonna start filtering by sector in no particular order. We'll start with technology, and in that sector here, we're seeing some of this in uptrend at the top here. Not too many, but there is some. And notice this group here, data storage, doing really well. SNDK, WDC, STX. Again, these are the ones that have reported. Okay. Here's SanDisk. Look at this huge bounce. I think it is quite extended. Like here's the ends, okay? Down here, the IBD put on your chart. Ends are basically when they are being accumulated in higher volume, and you can see those volume are just giant volume there. And we did have a pullback, and then we start to bounce again. Notice how it always finds support at the 10-day, right? This is like as good of a chart you can probably get. And then here you didn't even touch the 10-day. This one touches it like just a little bit, and here we go again right there, and then we bounce off and make a new high. Now it does look, potentially like a short-term climax run here, because it passed the top channel line. So that's the only negative thing right now regarding to this, but it is definitely a big winner. So here's another big winner, WDC, Western Digital, in the same group. We broke out recently and it started going, and again, look at the green line. It never really touches it. That's the good thing there. So here's another big winner, Seagate, and they just keep going. And look at this recent breakout here, and then finding support near the 10-day again. Look at that. And then on Friday we bounced right there again. Again, you look at the volume side, we're seeing a lot of the volume on the plus, on the positive days, so that's really nice. And then look at this last red day down here, which is super low volume here. Some light in the telecom fiber optics, still doing really well. Look at this bounce right here on the support at the near the 10-day, and then after the earnings right here, it bounced, gap up, and then we ran up this week to Thursday before reversal. And then Friday, we found a support level at the low here. So that looks pretty good as the 10-day is trying to catch up. And look at that slope of the 10-day. It's quite steep. And yeah, it's moving very fast pace right now. Next, we have some of the semiconductor group here. So we have MTSI making new high. So this is Maycom Tech Solution. Recently, we pulled back and then we started bounce, finding support 10-day. And then earnings came out. It just went to new high. And Friday it followed through again. That looks really good. We also have TER here, still in uptrend. We also have AEIS also reported in uptrend. And right here we have Rambus and SITM. We have the internet content grind here. And then we also have Google, which we cover in the main market video. Next we have a couple of financial software related stock, QTWO and FICO. Here's Q2 Holdings. This one is trying to come back up, came out pretty strong on earnings here and followed through on Friday. Then we have FICO here also trying to come back above this 200-day moving average, also came out on earnings and seems to be at least closing strong on Friday. The Software Enterprise Group, Trilo, TWO. We also have P-Core here. We also have Net, Cloudflare, and Database, Zeta. And we also have COM in the infrastructure telecom area. And then the rest you can see we are in a downtrend. So app loving here, Apple, Team, AMD, Empower, Pins, ALGM, Duolingo have a sharp drop. CWAN, Hubs. Again, as you go down this list, there's lots of downtrend stocks. We have here Match in uptrend mode, and yeah, so feel free to look at this. We have Retail Internet here, Wayfair at the top here. We have Expedia in the leisure travel booking, making new high on new earnings. So here's the chart, nice breakout right here on this strong volume on the earnings result. We have PLNT here in the leisure service, Planet Fitness, making a very nice bounce off above the red line here from the bottom on earnings and falling through on Friday. Looks really good. Next here we have SGI also in uptrend, making new high on the house office furniture. Here's Somni Group International. This is a nice double bottom base right here with a lower low here. And then we bounce off the earnings and then we're able to follow through and break out. Then we have LNW in uptrend here, LUV, Transportation Airline, FDP in the food miscellaneous preparation. There's also a nice breakout right here at the lower entry level, bouncing off the 10-day. And then now we're coming back on the right side of the base at a pretty sharp angle. Then we have Chef here, also in the same group. Yum, also in uptrend retail restaurants. With Short Ninja within 1% of short-term moving average. We have HLT in the leisure lodging. So again, retail is probably one of the weakest area right now. And lost in downtrends even after they reported. So look at the industrial sector, and at the top here we have FLS, Machine General Industrial. This one recently break out right here on a double bottom base and on the earnings results here, and then it was able to follow through on that, make a newer high. Then we pull back right here, and we're able to find support on Friday. Again, you can see this slope is pretty steep on the 10-day moving average, and so far it hasn't come straight down to it, and so that looks pretty good. Also in the same group, SPXC, here's one also breakout and on on better earnings result, and then it pulled back, and again notice how it never come down to the red green line, finding support as well on Friday here. Looks good. And also in the same group we have JPTM and Dolph here. So this one has bounced also on earnings and found support here at the red line, which is 50-day moving average. And then on Friday we're able to close pretty strong. Here's Dover DOV. This one also came on strong earnings. Since then, it's trying to come out this black line, which is the 200-day moving average. So we find it support at the low end range here, which is near the 10-day. So hopefully this will come out soon. Also related in the machinery group here, we have MTR. That's Zometry. Look at this nice breakout on the base here. Strong earnings result. Look at how tight it was trading since that day, and then we found support on Friday, closed at a new high. This is a very nice chart right now. We have Cohere, electronic parts. This group is also strong. We have WCC in that group and APH. Looking at Coherent here, we had this strong earnings bounce, and then we pulled back on Friday, but we looked like we found support at the low here. The 10-day is rising really sharp right now, so that looks really good. Next is Westco International. This one also bounced off earnings here, and look at how strong it is. It just went sideways. It doesn't want to come back down to 10-day. Also looks pretty good. Then we have Amphenol APH. This one has pulled back slightly recently. So it came out of this earnings bounce, went up, and then now it pulls back recently here. And Friday it was able to close back above the 10-day. So that looks really good. Very close to new high here. Next we have in the electrical contract manufacturing SANM. We also have FN in the same group and TTMI. Here's Semina. This one came out on earnings as well, looking really strong. Then we followed through the next day. We have pulled back slightly for 2 days now, but still way above the green line here. Next we have Fabrinet in the same group. This one also came out on earnings here, but has since pulled back, so this one looks slightly weaker. It did close at the 10-day moving average. Here's TTMI, also in electrical contract manufacturing. It tried to come out here, and then earnings came out. It kind of shaky. Then it kind of continued to move up, and then pull back right here. On Friday, it was able to bounce back above the 10-day, so that looks pretty good. Next we have KEX in the transportation ship. We also have JPHT in the transportation truck. We have MYRG in the building maintenance service, and also roll here. In the electrical power equipment group here, we have RBC and NVT. Then we have JCI in diversified operations here, and HWM in aerospace defense. Then we have SICO here in the pollution control group, and then we have WAP here, transportation equipment manufacturing, Modin here, building heating products. As we scroll down the list, we also have APG security safety, We have XYL, machinery tools, and SPGI MCO near the moving average here. We also have CNX trying to bounce back here in the metal processing and fabrication area. So yeah, industrial good is probably one of the large, more uptrend stocks here in this group right now. Next, we're looking at the health sector. We have ATech here in the medical products group. We also have Penn and GKOS here. Here's Alpha Tech Holdings in the medical product group. Gap up on earnings, but then it kind of fall back the next day. But intraday wise, it was able to find support, and since then it's been moving up slowly here. And the 10-day is trying to catch up at the same time. Then we have Penumbra here, come out of this short-term trend. I mean, not the base downtrend line. Broke out on earnings here, trying to hold this 200-day line here. So looks like it found support so far. Looks really good. Then we also have GKOS in this group, come out on earnings, got rejected here at the 200-day, came back all the way down, and then since then it's been kind of slowly sliding back down to the short-term 10-day moving average right here. So we'll see if it finds support there. Next group we see here, CAH in the medical wholesale supply area. We also have Core and MCK here. This Cardinal Health, very strong chart right now. Look at this strong breakout on earnings results. Then it tries to pull back, but didn't really come down hard at all. Then we were able to kind of ride that trend line at the bottom here and continue to bounce, making new high. The 10-day is very far beyond it, so it's a little bit extended for sure. We also have Sankura in the medical wholesale drug supplier, and we did move up on earnings here. So here's the nice bounce off the earnings result, and then it started to get a little bit extended here now. Here's McKesson. It has a very ugly reaction to the earnings results. It was very volatile, but look at where it closed. It closed near the top here, and then on Friday it barely gave back any of those gains. This is a very strong stock chart right now. Next we have the biotech group here, Iowa, VCell, MDGL, SNDX here, and finally we have UTHR and also Halo here. Then we have Lilly here in the media diversified, still in uptrend. IDXX in the systems equipment group here. We also have in the long-term care area PNTG. This is Pennant Group here, and it has a sharp bounce. Firstly, it has a negative earnings, and then it's dropped, and then the next day we're able to follow through right away. So that shows the strength in this stock. In the commodities area, there's not too many stocks that have reported and doing well at this moment. We have Flow Solar in the uptrend. We have NVGS Transport Pipeline in the uptrend. We also have DTM here in the uptrend here. Here's DT Midstream here in the oil gas transportation pipeline. It has been bouncing nicely here. Friday kind of come close to a previous high, so look like it's setting up for it. So we also have TPL Royalty Trust here and MTW in the machinery construction mining. Finally, looking at the financial group here, we see many stocks actually, one of the biggest group I think. Many stocks here. You can see here there's 3 stocks here. That's the largest group I believe. Sectors in my list. Now at the bottom we still see lots of downtrend, but at the top here is mostly uptrend, so that's a good sign. So we see LPLA here in that group, investment banker brokers at the top here. Then we have SF also. This one also makes new high. This is Stifel Financial. Look at this 10-day moving average and this breakout right here. It tried to come out, pull back, and found support, and then slowly just keep rising here. Then we have credit card payment processor here. It looks like it's the lone wolf. This is EXPE, banks in the West Southwest region, BMRC. We also have WAL here. Then we have Ryan in the insurance broker group. This is Ryan Specialty Holdings. Look at this nice bounce here. Look at this sharp angle. It's a little bit extended at this moment, but very strong. Yeah. Then we have AMG in the finance investment management here. We also have SII making new high here. This one is making a nice comeback on the right side of the base. Very strong volume. Next we have AMG here, affiliate manager. This one has a nice recent breakout. Look at the volume on the support side as it comes out on the base. And then now we found support on Friday as well. So that's really good looking chart. Next we have N1 here in the finance consumer loans. In that same group here we also have FCFS. Next group here we have Banks Money Center, which is BCS here making new high. Here's Barclays bouncing since the earnings result, slowly moving up. Then we pull back, and then we tested Friday as well on the low side, and right now it looks like it able to close really strong, like pretty much I think making a new high here. Next we have NWG also in the money center group. Nice breakout here on earnings gap up. Then we kind of try to break out from the traditional buy point, but we pull back all the way to 10-day, and then now we have been bouncing back, making new high even on Friday. That looks really good. Then we have FBNC in the southeast region, OSBC in the Midwest Bank region, TFC super regional. Then we have MSCI here, financial service specialty. Next we have MDGK Northeast region, CADE West Southwest region. We have TMP in the Northeast region. Next we have SAN, Banks Money Center, OMB Midwest, AX in the savings loan area, CFG in the Banks Northeast, FITB Super Regional, ARES, Finance Investment. We have BOW here, Insurance Diversified, LAZ, Investment Bankers Brokers, Charles Schwab, SCHW. We have BK again in the Money Center. And then we have a firm here, credit card payment, and FNF is insurance. So we are slowly building up this list. There's lost 40% in uptrend. That's pretty good in general. And there's no specific group that stands out the most. In terms of number of stocks, probably industrial is the one, and financial also one. But again, financial hasn't been performing strong in a long time. But however, this is the only one that is green this week. So anyhow, thank you all for watching. As earnings season come out, we're gonna keep growing this list. There's still lots of growth stocks that are still missing. But once the earnings are out, we will be able to see who's going to take the new leadership in probably the next rally. A lot of these stocks are, obviously reporting good earnings, they bounce, and the key is some of them are actually on the right side of the base, so they're like setting up to break out to new highs. And we also saw a lot of them already did that. They already broke out to new high from the base, and those again can be the next leaders. So we're going to be watching this as the next weeks progress. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe.